Hello. So looking at forces, we need to know that a force is a pull or a push on the mass of an object. Now, when a force acts on the mass of an object, it can cause an object to move, it can cause an object to accelerate, it can cause an object to bend. So those are some of the effects. So an object can move, can accelerate, can bend, or can break. Okay, so these are some of the effects of the force on an object. It can also cause an object to increase the speed or to gain more speed. Now, forces, a force, they are all measured in newtons. The symbol is N, it's newtons. Now we have different types of forces. We have gravitational force, which is the force of gravity. We have the nuclear force, the force in the nucleus of an atom. We have the normal force. Therefore, when a force, acts on the mass of an object, there is a gain in the acceleration of an object. This is what we call Newton's first law of motion. So Newton's first law of motion states that the force is in direct proportion to the acceleration of an object and direct proportion to the mass of an object. So for example, let's say a force of 20 newtons is acting on a mass of 40 kg. What is the acceleration? So we're going to use this. Force is 20 newtons, mass is 40 kg, and acceleration. So divided by 40 kg divided by 40 kg. So acceleration is equal to 0.5 meters per second squared. What if you are given a force of 200 newtons and this is N and acceleration of 5 meters per second? Then you've been told to find the mass. How can you find? So use the same formula, mass times acceleration. Force is 200 newtons, mass we don't know, acceleration we have as 5 meters per second. So divided by 5 meters per second squared, in this side 5 meters per second squared. Then you cancel there. So your mass will be equal to 40 meters, not 40 meters but 40 kg. So you can also be taught to find the force given the mass. So that's simply on forces. Then there's also Newton's second law of motion. Second law of motion states that the rate of change of momentum, so momentum is directly proportional. So the rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the force applied on an object. This law is known as the law of momentum. And the third law, you can check in the notes which I've sent. The third law says that for every action force, so the third law, for every action force, there is always an equal but opposite reaction force. The force is reaction. So what happens if there's a force going in this direction? Let's call it force A. Just know that there's another opposite force B, going in the opposite direction of B, but these are equal in magnitude. They are equal. So let's say there's a force A with 50 newtons going in this direction. also know that on this same force there is another force going in that direction. It's just that it's opposite. They are equal, it's just opposite. It's also just the same, 50 newtons as well. This is enjoying the third law of motion. So you can read through the questions, also the notes, and check out.